Action News exclusive for you now. PNC Bank is now looking into some blue-dyed money that was spit out by a metro area ATM. The bank confirmed the investigation with us after customers told us that they were denied refunds. No one's going to take that money. See all the dye all over it? New at 6, investigative reporter Ashley Lincoln talked to a woman in McDonough who received those dyed bills.
Well, this customer says after inserting a card into this ATM machine, she received dyed money. Now she says she's stuck with money she can't use.
What am I to do? $360? We need to know what to do.
It's damaged and dyed money. Tawana Brown and other PNC ATM users say they received from this McDonough ATM.
I got the money out and just put it in my purse.
Brown says later that day, when reaching for the money to pay for food, she noticed $360 from an $800 withdrawal covered in blue dye.
I can't use it. It's not, no one will take it.
Brown says she was told by a manager at this Stockbridge PNC Bank branch that while this has happened to other customers, they couldn't take the money back.
He basically told me or made me feel like kick rocks. It's not our, responsibility. I was livid. I was really mad.
Brown says the money was meant for her brother's mortgage payment, a payment she says they're now behind on.
It's really frustrating.
I reached out to PNC, and a spokesperson said they're collaborating with their vendor to investigate reports of damaged bills within certain PNC ATMs and are working to support any impacted individuals. The Georgia Bankers Association says while it's unusual for an ATM to dispense unfit money, it isn't impossible. They suggest affected customers keep all transaction receipts. The GBA also says if this happens at a bank where you don't hold an account, you'll be subject to that bank's policy for non-customers.
Because I needed to know whose responsibility was it. Because he simply said that it wasn't their responsibility to give me my money back.
And I reached out to McDonough police to see if they responded to this ATM. We're waiting to hear back. In McDonough, Ashley Lincoln, Channel 2 Action News.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That is, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Blue dye dollar bills. Let me say that one more time. Blue dye dollar bills. This is 2 Timothy 1:7, and it reads, "For the Most High have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." And we understand in these times that we are in, coming closer to the end of this man's rulership, that he's not going to hold back, He's going to try to sell you the facade of this dollar not being worth anything, And you see it in this latest clip that I just played, that this woman went to the ATM machine to withdraw a substantial amount of money, and come to find out that when she went to give it to her son so he could pay his mortgage, that the money had been, dyed with, it had been covered with some type of blue dye, which can no longer be taken because the money is no longer good once it's, being compromised. So this person wasn't able to pay their mortgage, or wasn't able to use this money to pay for their mortgage in time. So she went to the bank, and the bank told them basically, it's nothing we can do about that. That money is no good. We have to take it out of circulation. So you can see how easily it is going to be to, put the physical dollar in a bad light compared to a digital dollar. See, she wouldn't have that problem with a digital dollar, because with a digital currency, you don't need to hold it. As opposed to physical currency, where all types of things can happen, whether it's being, whether it's being destroyed by marking it, or whether it has some type of, how should I say it without alerting, whether it has some type of, fungus, or, what I'm trying to say, disease or whatever on it, that it can't be used or handled. Digital currency, you don't have to worry about that because it's digital, and you are the only person that can handle that currency. With physical currency, everybody and anybody can handle that, and including your ATM machines can handle it. And you can see that if you have a faulty ATM machine, it could dispense, non-usable currency, money. So this person wasn't able to use her money to lend her son to help him pay for his mortgage. And if she didn't have any money, and if she didn't have any backup money, then her son's mortgage wasn't going to get paid. He could be behind on his rent or on his mortgage because that physical currency has been, has been marked, has been no longer acceptable by the banks. So you stuck with paper cash that basically isn't worth anything except for the paper it was printed on. So you can see how worthless this paper currency is going to be once they get ready to roll out this digital currency. You're going to be stuck with a lot of paper that you can't do nothing with it, but probably start a fire or something like that because it holds no value. There is nothing behind this paper currency that you can, return it to get some kind of profit off of. It used to be backed by silver and gold, but now that's taken away. So this lady is stuck with $800. Probably out of that 800, I think she said 360 of them was, was ruined. So she's stuck with $360 that she can't even use. She just got to chalk it up because the bank's not going to honor that and refund her money. And you heard the news reporter say that the bank said that there was other customers that was reporting the same thing. So I don't know if it was that ATM machine or it was the bank, but you can see how easily it's going to be, or how easily it can be for your physical currency to be worthless in times that you need it, such as paying your rent, your mortgage, buying groceries, or whatever. However they want to sell it to you, And most people who live paycheck to paycheck, they go and deposit and withdraw their money out the ATM later on and count on that money to pay their bills and to buy food and stuff like that. Well, what if that ATM dispense you money that you can't use? How are you going to pay your money? How are you going to pay your bills and buy groceries then? You're not. You're going to have to rely solely on that central bank digital currency, or however they're going to push it to you. You're going to have to rely solely on that to get your bills and your food and your whatnots to be paid on time. You see? So we understand that this devil is not holding out. He's bringing out all the tools and devices of his wicked rulership, So he's letting you know that it's getting ready to say bye-bye to your physical dollars, man. And you can bet once people figure that out and they start going to the ATM machines, that it's going to be a mass run on withdrawals from these ATM machines. And who knows if having that much money being deposited out of the ATM machines at once can cause a default and have that money to be ruined by having blue dye or whatever on it, and the banks can't accept that, and now you stuck with all that paper cash that ain't worth nothing. You see, now you stuck with that, and now the banks don't have to worry about taking a loss because they're not going to be able to refund you it because it's already been marked, it's been ruined, it's been destroyed, so they can't accept that to you. So who knows if it's the bank sending a signal to their ATM machines to destroy that, or if it's just the ATM machine being faulty. But whatever the case is, you stuck with all that cash because you went and tried to take out that money before you figured that CBDC will be implemented into place. And not just you, but like-minded people like you all went in at the same time and tried to take their money out the ATM and not knowing that it's just speculation that amount of withdrawals messed up the ATM machine, and now the ATM machine is dispensing out marked bills that can't be accepted anywhere because they've been ruined by ink. So you stuck with that. And now the banks are let off the hook because they can't accept that money. It's being ruined. They can't give you no refund. You already see it right now being in place that they're not going to refund you your money. So you stuck with that. So that's why we have a sound mind, because in this word we understand that we coming closer to these times, and anything goes in these last times, So the banks could use whatever strategy they want, so they don't have to honor your money that you've taken out of the bank and the ATM machine. Now you stuck with that because they know that money that you have isn't backed by anything. It isn't backed by any gold or silver, so it's just useless money to you at that point. So that's why we understand, for the Most High Yahweh have not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So we understand we're going to take a loss if that means getting up out of here. That's nothing that you should cry over. We understand that money is a defense. It tells us that in Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 12. And it reads, "For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it." So wisdom is the only thing that you need to worry about. And knowing what time we in and what's coming down the pike is enough of a sound mind that you should have, that you shouldn't understand, that you shouldn't worry about. You may have to take a loss. You may have to lose some of your money to show, the sign of the end times, the sign of this man kingdom coming to an end, and ours beginning next, and ours ruling for eternity. So we see money as a defense. Use money to pay your bills, pay your rent, your light, your gas, buy groceries. But essentially, they gonna roll out that mark where, you're gonna have to rely on wisdom as your defense. You no longer can use money because it's gonna be your sign of showing to them that they're your gods. When you take this mark and put it into your right hand or your forehead, now you become part of their cattle, their herd. So now you look at them as your ruler, your power, your God. And we know that through the scriptures, the Most High said, you should put no other God before me. So by you taking that incision, that cutting in the flesh for the dead, you basically saying that they're your God. And you putting your trust in them. So this is the time that we in, man, where they can use anything to move and further push their agenda. Even marking, cash with blue dye. So don't put nothing past this devil, man. Take this time to get yourself together, to repent. Turn back to the Most High Yahweh through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And, prepare yourself. Because pursuant to Isaiah 65, he told you his servants are going to eat and drink. So this is the time to really be in this word, so you can have that hedge. So when Jacob trouble fully comes to, you'll be shielded from it. Because we seeing the works take place right now. So this is just a quick update. Let you know that they're not holding back anything. They're gonna use any and everything to push this CBDC, man. And a lot of our, older people who stuck in their ways, who don't want to submit to this digital currency, who think that holding their physical cash is going to be worth something, well, they're going to be wrong. Especially if they go to the ATM and they withdraw their money out of there and they see that it's being damaged and they can't, accept it, they go to the gas station, try to pay for gas, and the gas attendant say, I can't take this $20 bill. It's got, ink all over it. They're gonna be stuck. Then they're gonna try to go to they bank, and they bank gonna tell them we can't do nothing with it. It's been damaged. Then it's gonna be an uproar, So, it's time to be sober, be vigilant, and know what times we coming into. Because this is the end of this man's rulership, the end of his kingdom, and he know it. And he's going to try to do everything and all to get his agenda forced to the mass, whether you know it or whether you don't. This is his agenda. He's getting ready to roll out his crown, his sole propriety, his mark. And in order for you to continue to stay on his grid, you're going to have to take it, because he wants to see exactly all transactions being made, so he can better adjust and make things seem fitting to him to be, as to you, a God, telling you when and when you can't purchase this and purchase that due to a shortage of supply or demand. Now he can dictate who buys this and who doesn't, and when you have to buy it and when you can't. So this is all part of the agenda. So you have to be sober and be vigilant. And with that being said, let's go to 1 Peter, and then we're going to close out from there. This is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And if he can get you to fall into his snare, his trap, and have not just you, but the mass believe everything that's going on and panic, and through panic do something that further pushes you deeper and deeper into the hole, well, he's going to do it, and who knows if he's going to use these ATM machines to be stocked up with money that you can't use. And now you have to go down to your bank and get that CBDC just to recoup some of your losses. Okay, we can't refund you your complete $800, but in this new central bank digital currency, we can give you $600 out of your $800. And that's going to sound like a bargain to you, because you're not losing everything. You still have something to work with. Or they may give you your whole $800 back in digital currency and a little bit something on top of that for your inconvenience. And when that bills got to be paid within the next day or two, you're going to take that. And that's going to easily be translated into when they roll out that mark, when you got to put it inside your flesh. You see, there's no telling what this devil going to do, man. Only thing you can do is be, prayed up in this word, keeping this word and fast, and know what times we in, so you can be prepared if it be the good Lord will, because it's not nothing that you can do. It's the Lord's will that he has his angels over you in that time for deliverance, for salvation. So you see, you just have to stay in this truth, stay in this word, know what's going on, know what times we in, so you don't be caught out there, with your drawers down, with your pants down, with your hand in the cookie jar, So with that being said, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.